and welcome. This is episode 17. Oh my goodness, we're getting up there. January 23rd, 2024. This is another Invest Tuesday, and I am answering the question, is a house an investment? If you have a question for me that you'd like me to answer, please drop it in the comments below, and I'll do my best to get to it. So let's dive right in. Most people have heard of the American dream, which is to work, one parent works, the other parent stays home, takes care of the kids, you get a house to raise the kids in, has a small white picket fence, there we go, mi español, oh my goodness. And it's my observation that American dream expired long ago. Between inflation and other factors, that's just not really what's going to happen. And when people start asking me about is a house an investment, they're usually thinking of that American dream. They were told you need to buy a house, it'll be really good. If you're newly married, then when you have kids, or if you have kids, when you have more kids, and you need to be getting into a house. So let me get to my point is, well, it depends on how you use the house, okay? So let's go over a couple of scenarios. So my point number 2 is, when is a house a bad idea? I'm not a financial advisor. These are for just educational purposes only. It's my opinion that when a house is a bad idea, if you can't afford it, honestly. If you move a lot, let's face it, some of us now have jobs where we move quite frequently, and the amount of time it would take to sell a house, get it on the market, hope the market stays hot enough for you to sell it, for a lot of people that can be a headache. For others, they get into a mortgage. I mean, look at what happened in 2008. There were many people who got into a mortgage and did not understand how much their mortgage payment was going to jump up in, 3 months, 6 months, a year. And when it jumped up, they couldn't afford it anymore, and they couldn't get out of it because nobody would buy a house that's overpriced. So that's when it's a bad idea. When it just does not make sense, the numbers don't work. The loan, know the entire detail of the loan. I mean, this is a serious commitment. Don't just go there and hit the, terms accepted like you would on a new app, that you downloaded. You need to take it seriously and know exactly how much they want you to pay, when they want you to pay it, and how much it's going to cost you in the term of the loan. That's my opinion of when a house is a bad idea. My point number 3 is, okay, so when is a house a neutral? It's just kind of a neutral decision. Maybe you can afford the payments and it's about the same as rent, and you're not planning on moving for 15 to 30 years. You're a homebody, and you think that, the size of that house is going to last you for your needs, whatever they are, for that amount of time for the loan. Okay, that's neutral. It's not really good, it's not really bad, but it's neutral. All right, you can afford the payments and it makes sense for you and your lifestyle, then there you go. So now that brings me to point number 4. Okay, so when is it an investment? It's an investment when the house is bringing you income. When the house is bringing you money, not costing you money. So how can you do that? My point number 5, let's go over short-term rentals. Let's say you own a 2-bedroom house and it's just you and you're in one of the rooms. You could rent out the other room as a short-term rental. Some people will do short-term rentals for only a couple of days. There are plenty of apps online that allow you to do that now. Some people will do a short-term rental as in, let's say your aunt is coming into town and she's in between buying her own house and she just wants to live with you for 3 or 4 months. That could be a short-term rental. Maybe you have a place near the college and you just bring in a new renter for every semester and it switches out. That could be a short-term rental. That would be one way for you to do it. Now, you could also have it where you don't live in the property, but you own the property and you're renting it out as a short-term rental. I think Airbnb does by rooms and Vrbo does like the whole house. Check into the details for that, and of course their rules may change as time goes on. But those are good opportunities. So what would be a long-term rental? A long-term rental is, in my opinion, a year or more. If somebody is signing a year contract with you, then that's a long-term rental. And there can be positives and negatives, as with anything that you want to do. But the question is, when is it an investment? If you can get a quality renter to be in that rental for a year, and they pay you on time and they leave the property in a good position, that is a really good investment. And plenty of people have successfully taken that choice. Now, there is also the possibility of, like HGTV makes these types really, really popular, which is called house flipping. That's when you buy a house for a lower price and you fix it up and you sell it for a higher price. That's house flipping. And that's not something that, if you're completely newbie, you should be getting into. If you have no house building skills or you have no connections to quality contractors, that's probably not the best thing for you to jump into, in my opinion. You would probably want to get a partner, somebody who's done it before, somebody who could guide you so you can learn the ropes of it. There are so many stories of people who thought, oh, I can do this, and they go in and then they realize they don't know how to install things up to code. They don't even know what the code is, and they just run into a lot of problems and run out of money. So successful house flipping, you've got to know what you're doing with it. And that's kind of it. It's how you use the house that determines if it's an investment or not. Really, it's just all about what level of investment are you giving and what level of return are you getting back. And a few key points would always be, when you get into the property, your mortgage is going to be the main factor. And then your second factor is going to be who's paying that mortgage. So if you rent out to somebody and you're charging $1,200 a month, but your mortgage is $2,300 a month, that's not an investment. You're not getting money in. But if you're able to flip that and get $2,300 a month and your mortgage payment is $1,300 a month, okay, as long as that's a quality investor or a quality renter, that's a good investment. So you really have those two factors that you need to pay attention to. Do you have a good loan that works for you? And do you have a good renter that is going to be able to pay for it? And like I said, there's that neutral zone where you're the renter, basically. You pay your mortgage, but it's not costing you your level of living or costing you to be behind on other bills. So that's kind of a more neutral area. Now, I'm not promoted to promote them, but if you're anywhere interested in real estate, my personal preference is thebiggerpockets.com. BIGGERPOCKETS, biggerpockets.com. It's just a nice collaboration of real estate people who, some of them are investors, some of them are real estate agents, some of them are mortgage brokers. If you don't know anything about what's going on, checking them out, listening to their podcasts, watching their YouTube videos, it is a fantastic way to educate yourself, and they're free. Like, you can, I mean, obviously you can spend more money and you can always do more things, but if you're just starting out, this is a brilliant resource for being able to connect to people. We gotta love technology. It is amazing when it works right. So let's be working for it right. That is my opinion on if a house is an investment. If you have any questions for me, or you have a specific question that you would like me to be answering, please drop it in the comments below. We are trying to get to 1,000 subscribers in the year 2024. We are growing. Thank you very much. So if this has brought value to you, or you think it can give value to somebody else, please like, share, subscribe, and check out the description below for more details. Thank you so much for watching this far. I really appreciate you guys. You guys are awesome. Have a good one.